Okay. Mr. Chigongo, 10:44 time frame. Yes, I am alive to the constraints of time, but I'm saying that I'm not oblivious of what time heralds. But I'm saying all these electoral and constitutional reforms may not be achieved in a single go. I explained earlier, I think in an earlier address, that some of the constitutional reforms, because the Constitution makes provision for three possibilities of amendment. In Article 260, we can amend the Constitution with the Parliament, 2/3, and then a referendum. That some issues can be amended through parliamentary resolution and then a referendum by the people. Which is why one of the amendments I'm taking to Parliament is that on polling day we should have a referendum ballot paper to answer to key issues that require a national referendum. Because the excuse has always been that we don't have resources to conduct a referendum. We are probably the only nation that is incapable of responding to citizen concerns for over 20 years. There are so many lingering questions that require citizens to answer back. By the way, including the question that General Museveni wants to make a person like bail. If he has issues with bail, let him take the question to the people. They will answer him back. You have problems with let him go to the citizens who are affected by the inefficiencies of government. How can you say you want to do away with the bond when you don't have prosecutors? When you don't have straight? Who speaks about that? So I think General Museveni is tired, real tired. Let him take that question to the people through a referendum. He will get the answer he wants. So, we are alive to time. In 261, we can amend the Constitution as Parliament 2/3 and local government 2/3. That time we have. Parliament has enough time with local governments to amend those areas that require Parliament and local governments. Then in 262, Parliament alone, the area that require Parliament alone. So Parliament has time. It's only clumsiness and ill will. So if goodwill prevails, the question of time is not a big issue for all the intended amendments. It has for some, but also we have a remedy in terms of cascading them. And then the outcomes can be implemented by the next government. I'm strictly talking about governance. Okay? Then Mr. Chigundu, that we might fail in our bid because of the numbers. Yes, we are not blind to the numbers. We are saying we shall talk to the numbers. It's not true that all members of Parliament from the NRM are blind. I have spoken to very men and women in the NRM, in Parliament. They are there. And they are very concerned about the future of this country. All we need is to have a warm conversation. You remember the debate in Tojikwatako? Remember how we were able to swing numbers? Of course, at the end of the day, it was not swung by Parliament, but by the military, those who were around. I still believe that we can overcome the past and rethink afresh about this country. I'm very aware of well-meaning members of Parliament from the ruling party that want this conversation to be part of our national polity. So the numbers, yes, but the numbers can be talked to, and then we decide for the good of our people. Annette, the almost same question, the NSF. Of course, the National Consultative Forum is a constitutional platform which is dead. It's dysfunctional. In fact, the issues we are discussing should have been, forwarded by the NCF. Where are the outcomes of their meetings? Is it allowances? They sit. We vote for them money in Parliament through the Electoral Commission. What are they doing? Let them come out to complain and say things are not working, and we disband them. Then we can know they are non-existent. So we understand their frustration, but it's not enough to be frustrated. Act on your frustration. See, for me, giving up is not an option. And nobody should ever hide behind frustration, not to act on duty. We are inviting them to act on their duty as a constitutional body. Mr. Waiswa Busogawan, Yes, I can understand your frustration. And I'm inviting you, now that you have a very potent platform, to speak to citizens to raise and make these demands. In the 10th Parliament, there was a conversation about the possibility of a national medical insurance, but that conversation was dropped and excuses were brought. We can compel any government in power to implement that as a priority. If you're not prioritizing public health, people's health, education, and services, basic services, then what is your priority? So we believe that this can be, even smaller nations with leaner budgets like Rwanda have a national insurance, health insurance scheme. So it's a question of demanding. And for us on our side as the DA, that would be our electoral platform, part of our electoral platform, national health insurance. And we cannot apologize for demanding for it. Mr. Sechunga, yes, what other parties are doing. No, I am concerned, but I'm not worried. Concern is that they must be alive to the reality. Concerned that what they are doing is grandstanding. Concerned that they have been part of the past and therefore they must be alive to the present. That does not scare me from reaching out. We are talking to all those platforms, even those who are saying they're ready for the next nomination. We're saying, no, before you iron your coat, please listen. It's a rainy day. Will you first put on a rainy coat? Because you dripped. Even your nomination papers will be torn by the rains. Can you deal with the bad weather before you raise your appetite for the next election? That's the message you are putting across. And we are putting across humbly to these platforms. Okay? This is not about us. We have a stake, just like anybody else. And we are trying to conscientize, to raise the awareness of colleagues and different platforms to say, this is the way to go about this business. Probably some of them are new to this. I can understand the excitement. At least I am beyond excitement. I have been this, and therefore can speak without contradiction to my worries and the concerns about the future of this country. If we made this as our political culture, it's my scare, it's my worry. I thank you.